Most people think they choose who they trust. But what if I told you they're wrong? Because in the world of dark psychology, trust isn't really earned. It's engineered. It's just a system. And like any system, it can be hacked. So welcome to part 2 of our dark psychology series. Today, we're diving into what I call social bond hacking. We're going to break down 5 silent triggers that are used to forge and, let's be honest, exploit that human connection. Now, the goal here isn't to teach you how to do this stuff. It's to show you how it's done to you. Because once you can see these loops, you can't be a victim of them ever again. That's your shield. All right, first up, let's talk about the rapport illusion. The technique behind it is called mirroring. And this is a biological shortcut straight to your brain's trust center. Think about it. Our brains evolved way back in tribes, right? And back then, similarity meant safety. If someone was like you, they were probably safe. Well, mirroring hijacks that ancient survival instinct. When someone subtly copies your posture, your gestures, even the speed you talk, it makes your subconscious mind feel this deep, totally unearned sense of familiarity. It just completely bypasses all rational thought. And look at how this plays out. It's a direct cause and effect loop. They adopt your posture, maybe start using your slang, and your brain doesn't go, huh, that's weird. Nope. It goes, wow, this person is just like me. They get me. And just like that, it's created this illusion of connection, and you lower your guard, right when you should probably be putting it up. Okay, let's move on to the second trick. And honestly, this one is one of the most aggressive forms of social hacking out there. We're talking about the dependency trap. You've probably heard of it as lovebombing. So how does it start? It's like a flood. The attack begins with these overwhelming statements. It's not just a compliment, right? It's the first wave in a whole campaign, and it's designed to completely disarm you with just the sheer volume of it all. And then it escalates. The praise gets more and more specific, more exclusive. They put you up on this pedestal, and it feels incredible, right? It's intense, it's constant. But you have to remember, this isn't about connection. It's about control. And then comes the final hook, the line that makes it feel like destiny. And boom, just like that, you're hooked. What's happening in your brain is that this intense early affection has created a powerful dopamine dependency. It's a high like nothing you've ever felt before, and it was completely engineered by someone else. But here's the trap. As soon as you're dependent on that feeling, the manipulator just pulls it all away. The validation stops. And that creates this painful withdrawal, making you desperate to get that feeling back. You'd be willing to do almost anything to get their approval again. It's so important to remember, true connection takes time. That kind of intensity, it's almost always a mask for control. Okay, hang on. Before we get to what is probably the most addictive trick on this list, we've got to talk about a really strange psychological quirk. What if I told you that doing a favor for someone could be manipulated to make you like them more? It sounds backward, I know. This brings us to trick number 3, which hacks a little mental glitch called cognitive dissonance. You might have heard of it as the Ben Franklin effect, and it is totally counterintuitive. See, we think we do favors for people we like, but the reality is, our brain convinces us that we must like people that we do favors for. So here's how that little justification loop works. The manipulator asks you for a small, totally harmless favor, like, hey, can I borrow a book? You do it. You don't even think twice. But then your brain kicks in, trying to make sense of what you just did. And it concludes, well, I wouldn't have done that for just anybody. I must actually like this person. It's such a subtle way to plant a positive thought about them in your own mind, and was all started by their request. And now for what I think is the most insidious trick on this list. Number 4 is the gambling effect. The psychological engine behind it is something called intermittent reinforcement. And this is what creates addiction. Just look at this. Consistent kindness, it's great, but it's predictable. Intermittent reinforcement, though, is dangerously unpredictable. One day, they treat you like you're the most important person in the world. The next, they're cold, distant. And that inconsistency creates a literal chemical addiction in your brain. You get a little hit of dopamine every time you get that reward of their kindness. It is the exact same psychological loop that keeps someone pulling the lever on a slot machine, just hoping for the next win.
And this is the red flag you need to look out for. If you ever feel like you are constantly working just to earn someone's basic kindness, constantly trying to figure out what you did wrong to get back to the good times, you're not in a partnership. You're sitting at their slot machine.
Okay, finally, trick number 5. This is a rapid-fire technique for getting exactly what they want. It's called the compliance shortcut, or the fear then relief method.
Here's how this one plays out. The manipulator creates a brief, sudden jolt of anxiety. Something simple like, oh no, you almost dropped your phone. And then they immediately offer the relief. Don't worry, I caught it. In that split second, when your brain flips from fear to relief, you become highly suggestible. Your mind is just off balance for a moment. And that is the exact moment they make their real request, because you're way more likely to just agree without even thinking about it. So, from mirroring and love bombing to forcing favors and creating a literal addiction, do you see it? These aren't just random, quirky behaviors. They are calculated techniques. Can you see the strings now? And the thing is, the only way to protect yourself from all this, it isn't to become more guarded or cynical. It's just to be more aware. Knowing how the game is played is the only way to make sure you're not just a pawn. That's all we have for this explainer, and if you found this useful, you're definitely going to want to stick around for part 3, where we'll get into reality distortion. We'll explore how these very techniques are combined to warp someone's entire perception of the world around them.